The times when you feel the most inspired, what does that look like for you? What environment do you have to be in? Does everything have to go right from the moment you wake up to the moment you begin to create? Or is it when you're stuck in depression and you create when you need a distraction? Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to be so depressed or through the roof ecstatic and not have to rely on the environment at all or the day going exactly our way, yet we could still create on a consistent basis? Wouldn't that be nice? Inspiration, being inspired, is basically inspiraling within yourself. That's all that it is. Where all the power is, where all your creativity comes from, spiraling down that rabbit hole of all that you are as a divine being that is capable of everything and anything at any given moment. For me, this looks like observing my environment, remaining centered, finding beauty in most things. Everything tastes better, everything looks brighter, and I am excited to paint, I am excited to draw, and the day feels longer in a good way. I have more time, I stay off my phone, I read, I go into nature, I exercise. I basically am just living my best life and doing a lot in one day simply because I have the radiating energy for it. So how do we act this way every day, no matter the circumstances, no matter what's going on in our environment? How do we do that? Our attitude is immensely important. In order to have an inspired attitude, we have to recognize the things that are keeping us from this. What is keeping us at a lower attitude? A perpetrator, victim, and a savior. This is a relationship that is sold to us through the narrative of saving the world, saving the earth, saving this group of people, or saving this individual. It is a recurring theme that is going on constantly throughout the media, like movies, TV shows, or even TikTok, celebrity gossip, the news, our education system, our family life, and etc. The list goes on. On TikTok, it's what goes viral in the sense where the influencers have their own drama between themselves or like on their hate page, so they cause more controversy by talking about it and they get more views and then they sell more products. This is a game that they play. In movies, there's a protagonist, an antagonist, a conflict, a climax, a resolution. The news recycles scary things that happen in the world again and again and again, but it even comes down to what is going on in our families. We find ourselves in a loop with people that are closest to us, almost like we are reading off of the script. We play out this game again and again, a game of who's the perpetrator, who's the victim, and who's the savior, who is a winner and who is a loser, who was right and who was wrong. Most people in life are gamers and they lose themselves in the games that they play. A game I am guilty of playing, unfortunately, is actually eavesdropping on other people's conversations, and my mind, seriously, if you know me, you know this, and I'm sorry, because sometimes I can get so lost in it, it's all I can talk about. My mind basically gets blown away by how strange something is about what someone said, or how different my life is to their life, or how sad they seem. Sometimes I get like wrapped up in like, wow, they're so sad, and like that really fascinates me in a sense. Sometimes I'm so fascinated by other people and how they operate basically that I would rather remain unconscious of how we are different people. Like literally it gets to that extent with different energies, different lives, because I would rather feed my own fixation. That's all that it is, on the other person. I've fully become enmeshed in the person and the people I don't know, and the dynamics of these people that are in a conversation. Yeah, I get contained in that dynamic and their conversation when I do this, and I lose myself when I play this game. Consistently, people who play games are looking in their memory banks all the time, remembering dialogue, remembering what he said, they said, what they did, on and on and on and on. And they focus all of their attention on these things. They look at these situations throughout their entire day, reminding themselves of what they could have or should have said, or what the other person didn't say, or what the other person did say that made them feel hurt, abandoned, confused, thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking about who was the winner in this conversation and who was the loser. When we are preoccupied by these narratives, where is there time for us to create? Where does the inspiration come from? Where is the motivation beyond pettiness, getting even? Things like this that are so short-lived and never fulfilling. After a while, we think we are the game, and our attitude is lowered so far that we think having a good day looks like how we feel when we're winning. We just want to be more right, have more points than the other person, and we're wrapped up in it as if it's the only game in the world. But the games that we are playing are not any more significant than anyone else's games that they're playing. The only way we can truly be significant in our lives or do something special is if we have an inspired attitude beyond games, beyond feeling like the winner so you aren't excited so you can create finally. It's beyond all of that. We have to take a look at what exactly we're getting from playing these games, which are keeping us at a lower attitude and frequency. We all have the tendency as human beings to play games, but what are we getting out of it? What is it that we are getting out of it? That's it. That is the question. For most, it is simply just about playing in the mind. I find that when I am playing these games, it's just because I want to work my mind. I want to think. I want to use my energy to think about things, to be curious, that kind of thing. And the mind is constantly working and thinking and doing something. It's rare that we're ever able to shut it completely off. So we can use the mind to remain in the narrative of who is the perpetrator, who's the victim, who is the savior in all of our situations, relationships, scenarios, if we want. Or the lives of others that we observe in a coffee shop, like in my case, my little thing that I do, or scrolling TikTok, looking at the same people invested in their lives. Instead, though, we can use that thinking power of our mind that we naturally have to be curious about ourselves, to inspire ourselves, learn about who we are, spend more time doing things that we want to do in our future right now, rather than punishing ourselves, setting ourselves up for suffering, for loss, for pain, through continuous run-through of what happened yesterday. We can instead use the time that we have in the time game to get out of time, to go beyond games, and get into the reality of all that we are. The real reality, the authentic, is rich, abundant, magnificent, ever increasing, as opposed to the artificial reality where we are constantly judging others, other people and other things, saying, I like this, I don't like this is good, this is bad, they're the loser, they're the winner, getting us hooked in this hypnotic trance, looking back and forth like a necklace swinging in front of our faces that we just can't stop, because our mind becomes fixated of going left and right. It's like hypnotic. It's like a hypnotic trance, but it takes you thinking about it to make it real. You're the one giving it spirit, because this is who you are, with everything that you do, with all the things that you think about, with your entire environment. It's all a result of the things that you think about, that you believe are true, that you hold within yourself. You're projecting it all into your environment. You are a creator. Use that power for yourself, not for the games, thinking I'm better than you, you're worse than I am, the pettiness, the gossip, the back and forth, the hypnotic trance, the exhaustion of it all. Use it for your own prosperity instead. Now is the time to get it together, not in 20 minutes, right this second. This is the greatness of the moment of now. This is the power of the present moment. And each moment that there is, Our attitude is literally everything. An inspired attitude becomes our reality when we are enthused in spiraling in ourselves instead of being bounced around by the environment, what people are doing, saying, thinking. Instead of that, we are creating. We don't have time for all of that because we're creating. We don't have time for the games because we're too busy having a good time being us. When you know yourself, you have no fear. You are not a victim. You're not a perpetrator. You're not a savior, a winner, or a loser. You don't fall into any of these character types. You are beyond these character types. There is nothing greater or more powerful than your own being, your own divinity, your own power that is beyond force. It can't be force. It doesn't need force because it is natural. Be inspired no matter the circumstance. The very fact that you understand what I'm saying shows me that you already know who you are. You already know the beauties of you. You're already there. You don't need me. I am just here to simply remind you of all that you are, and you are beautiful. And doing this work helps me to remember the same things. That's why I do it. It's part of my self-care practice. It helps me to have an inspired attitude and be inspired no matter the circumstance. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence. I really, really do. And I will see you on the next one. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Love ya. Whoa. Bruh.